Okay, hello. Workshop Wednesday. My name is Tyler, and today we are going to be looking at one of my personal favorite things, some character and design and drawing. I spend a lot of my time sort of thinking up and stories and things like that. So I thought we'd spend a little bit of time today dissecting that a little bit and how to make our own. These are pretty much the same as every other week. They're pretty simple, some paper, really any kind, and really anything that you feel most comfortable drawing with: pens, pencils, markers, pencil crayons. You can use pastels or regular crayons, whatever you prefer. I'm going to use a mixture of pencils, maybe some colored pencils, and these Sharpie markers. Today, let's put this out of the way. So today I've brought along a few of my friends. These are a few examples of characters or folks that I've sort of created over the years that show up in a couple of my stories and drawings and things like that. This one over here, this guy's my favorite. This one and this one here too. So one of the first things that we're going to do, we're going to play a little bit of a game together and kind of warm up. So I'm going to put these off to the side here, just to get some of the ideas moving a little bit. And I do this sometimes when I'm just kind of working on my own. If I'm a little bit stuck, I'm not sure what to draw or what to do. I do this thing, I make two lists. And you can decide what you want to write on each of the sides. Sometimes I'll make a list of plants. And then on this side, I'll make a list of animals. Maybe this time I'll do plants and things. Switch to the marker. All right, so I'm just going to write down a few types of plants. I'll do also animals. Jellyfish, hammer, and you can put whatever you want in your list. I'm just writing down a few of these, or you can work off this list if you like. A tree is a plant. Let's see, a potato, maybe, like potato plant. A light bulb. Let's see. Broccoli. And I'll do a flower. You can get more specific, like actually maybe I'll do a sunflower. And then on this side I need two more. A coffee mug and a shoe. Only have one animal in there. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose one from each list and link them up together and try and combine those into a drawing itself. And usually when I have more animal things, then you can kind of get into like, this is how I might do creature creation, but we're just kind of trying to spur some inspiration, just some general inspiration. So maybe this time I will choose the broccoli. All right. that over here. And now your challenge, or my challenge, I guess, to quickly sketch out something to take those two things and combine them into one. So a jellyfish might kind of start kind of like this. It doesn't have to look, you know, super nice. This is just like a fun, quick thing. Long thingies, and then maybe I'll put, you know, the broccoli kind of coming out of the top here. And I'll kind of like the stalks kind of come down like that, I guess. I'm just kind of doing it from memory, how I remember broccoli to be. And then the stalks, maybe that will sort of turn into the jellyfish part. So if you're sort of thinking about, you know, you want to create a character, you want to get a little bit stuck, this is always a really, really fun or like easy game to play, to sort of inspire some creativity, and you can get it even a little bit more, have a little more fun by either having somebody else pick the two things for you, and then you have to put them together. So there's our broccoli jellyfish, or our broccoli fish. And maybe we'll use that. Maybe I'll use that later for a creature or character sketch. All right, so now that I'm a little bit warmed up, I got a few ideas flowing of how I can kind of mix things together. When I'm creating a character, I want to think about a couple of questions, mostly being, maybe I'll write them down. So we're looking at creating some backstory. We want to know who your character is, where do they live, what do they like to do, or what do they eat, and what sort of fun things do they like to do. How big or small are they? Are they big, big, giant? Are they tiny, little, like a small bug? And maybe like, yeah. So think a little bit more about their setting and like what their everyday world or life kind of looks like. So if you answer these questions a little bit, or if you think about this a little bit, you can kind of think like, okay, my jellyfish creature has broccoli, and just by seeing that it's like a fish type creature, you can see, or you can read from that okay, this clearly lives in the water. So that's like where it lives, and what does it eat? I don't know. Where's the mouth? So maybe you can put a mouth on there if you want to, or you can just leave it without, right? It's up to you. All right, so I'm going to sketch out a quick little sort of maybe how I might do one of these two. So some of the questions I asked for these, or some of the answers I came up, especially with this one, this character very much lives in the forest, very, very small, kind of like a little elf dwarf kind of thing. So what I've done is I've started with some pretty basic shapes here. For the head, I've started with a bit of a circle. For the body, I've got a bit of a triangle-y shape, kind of like this. And I'm going to put a line kind of going like this and this, and that's going to help me sort of plan out some of my facial features. And you can really start with any shape you like. Maybe I'll sort of start with kind of a boxy shape, and I'll do something with this after. All right. So now I'm going to sort of put my eyes there. little arms kind of out like this, so it's like kind of like floating or dancing. And now that I have these shapes, I can kind of refine and add some details. So maybe the sort of shirt dress thing kind of comes like this. A bit like that. And for this one, so I can get kind of the legs where I want them to be, I'm going to draw like kind of a body that might go underneath this here, and then the legs might kind of end up there. So I'm just sketching that lightly just so I can see where those might go. Okay. And then here I added a little point for the nose, so that we've got kind of like a beet-shaped face. But maybe this time around, I'll just leave it round. Okay, and then putting the leaf on the top. And then the big leaves. And this sort of represents, or would be like hair. Like the big leaves would be like forest hair, I guess. And then you can decide, you know, what kind of ears do I want to put on there? Do I want round ones? Do I want pointy ones? Do I want no ears? You know, absolutely up to you. It's kind of like that. And then over here, I put two little sort of buttons, just details on the sweater or the shirt. And there I've got like a really quick character where I started with basically just a triangle and a circle, and now I've got this kind of little forest character. All right, so now let's move over to this one. And for this one, I'm going to, let's see, I've just drawn this square and this other little square here. I didn't think about it, I didn't plan this ahead, and now I'm going to try and make something out of this. So I'm going to want face, maybe some arms and legs, some hair, something like that. So I got to sort of work that into here. So maybe, let's see, I'll put, I'll put a little head up there, and I'll use the square as the body, and maybe this part as a bit of an arm. And let's see. Put a little hat on. Nose. Some eyes. I'm just kind of winging it here. Another big, so if this is his arm, I'm going to put another big chunky arm here to match. So now it's starting to kind of look a bit like a baseball player, which I did not plan. I actually wanted to go with more of like a lumberjack and make this look like a big axe, but right now it's starting to look a lot more like a baseball player. So I think I'm going to go with that. Once you have some lines that you're happy with, what you can do is I'm going to now start to go over some of these lines with my marker, something a little more permanent. He's got these giant arms so he can hit the ball super, super far. There we go. Nice big baseball bat. Little details on the shirt. And you can see I've exaggerated like the shoulders. The body shape is super, super boxy. So maybe, you know, from that you can tell this guy's a real heavy hitter. Maybe he doesn't run so fast. maybe with these big hands, can catch really, really well. And then maybe to finish it all off, since everything's a little bit exaggerated, we'll just do some tiny, tiny silly legs, just like that. Some extra little lines to make him look like he's got some hairy arms. And there you go. That's that. Now let's move back to our little forest creature. And since what I'm going to do for this one, I'm going to use a thinner marker and go a little bit more delicate. Since this one here was like, you know, bang slam baseball bat, I made the line super, super thick. But here I'm going to make it thinner lines, a little more delicate. And just by changing up the line weight and like how you draw something, you know, do you do heavy, solid, bold lines or like thin, delicate, fine lines? That can really change how your character reads. As I'm doing this, I'm adding a few more little details here. I'm not focusing too much on things like, you know, specifics like hands and toes and things like that. I can add those in later if I really want to. But for now, I'm just kind of sketching and getting the ideas down. Maybe I'll add a bit of color in here. Sort of brighten that up a bit. And maybe I'll do the face kind of a bluish. So these colors can also tell you a lot about your character, and you know, if I colored the skin maybe orange or red, your character might take on you know, more of an aggressive, or like, you know, using those warmer colors, your character might have a bit of a warmer feel. Whereas here I'm using very sort of cool, earthy colors, like planet Earth colors. We get a very, like a bit more of a foresty planet Earth kind of feel. And they can be best friends. So there we have it for today. Some quick little character design and drawing. Not a lot of focus on specific, like, you know, drawing things to look realistic, but like more so a focus on exaggerating, you know, big boxy shoulders, starting with very geometric shapes. Here, the circle and the triangle, here the squares, and then kind of working from there. So thanks a lot for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, hopefully we'll see you in another video. Have a great day, folks.